The movie kicks off by introducing this girl named Chung Nam who's totally crazy about desserts. She's not just into them, she's like obsessed. What's cool is that she shares all her favorite sweet treats on her social media. And she's got a bunch of followers because her dessert pics are seriously stunning. But here's the thing, she's never once posted a photo of herself or shared what she's up to in her life on social media. Fast forward to this one day, Chung Nam's about to start her new journey as a freshman at Seoul University. Her big sis, So-hyun, is giving her a ride to campus. Since Chung Nam is a newbie at the university, So-hyun gives her some advice, telling her to be respectful to the older students so she doesn't end up in any trouble. While Chung Nam's at the university, she meets this guy named Yeon Nam who says he's an upperclassman. Remembering what her sister told her, Chung Nam is all nice and friendly to him, even buys him a drink. But she gets a big surprise when she figures out that Yeon Nam is actually a freshman like her. After their first class, Yeon Nam comes up to Chung Nam and says sorry for fibbing. Then they both join other first-year students and the seniors at a cafe to welcome the newbies and get to know each other better. It's like a cool welcoming party for the new students. When they were all about to head home, this guy named Jin-soo, who's a senior to Chung Nam, offers to give her a ride home. But then Yeon Nam chimes in and says that he lives in the same direction and can take her home too. So Jin-soo kinda has to go along with it and lets Chung Nam and Yeon Nam go together. While they're on the way back, Chung Nam and Yeon Nam chat to get to know each other better. Chung Nam asks if Yeon Nam is thinking of joining any clubs at the university. Yeon Nam hadn't really thought about it much, so he hasn't decided yet. Now, here's the interesting part. Chung Nam loves taking pictures, so she's planning to join a photography club. She suggests that Yeon Nam should come along too, even if he's not some photography genius, and Yeon Nam agrees and decides to join the photography club with Chung Nam. So the very next day, Chung Nam and Yeon Nam wasted no time and joined the photography club. There they met a senior named Tae-ye. Now, Tae-ye, she's a real looker, and she's pretty popular around campus. Plus, she's got tons of followers on all her social media. As Chung Nam and Yeon Nam got into the swing of things, they had some basic photography training. They were told to snap pics of interesting stuff around them. But Yeon Nam, instead of taking regular shots, asked Chung Nam to strike some unique poses, and he clicked photos of her. Since then, they become even closer and turned into good buddies. One day, Chung Nam decides to treat Yeon Nam and Tae-ye to one of her all-time favorite places, a dessert shop. She's pretty confident they'll love the sweet stuff there as much as she does. Now, Tae-ye has a thing for Yeon Nam and secretly wants to get closer to him. She asks Chung Nam for some help in that department. But Tae-ye tries all sorts of ways to be alone with Yeon Nam, but he just kinda ignores her and leaves her hanging. As time goes on, Tae-ye starts to realize that Yeon Nam is actually into Chung Nam because he's super caring toward her. On the flip side, Yeon Nam figures out that Tae-ye has feelings for him, and when she makes her feelings really clear, he politely turns her down. That stings a bit for Tae-ye, and she decides it's time to let go and stop pursuing her crush. One day, the photography club decided to throw an event where they'd cook up some special dishes and serve them to customers. Tae-ye was in charge of running the show, while Chung Nam's gig was to take care of the customers and tidy up the tables. Now, even though Yeon Nam had other tasks, he pitched in to help Chung Nam. As the day wore on, Chung Nam asked Tae-ye if she could take a break after working hard all day. Later, Yeon Nam took Chung Nam to a room, and they caught a fireworks show from the window. Since they were alone, Yeon Nam got a bit carried away and kissed Chung Nam. But after that kiss, Chung Nam started avoiding Yeon Nam and didn't want to talk to him at all. Yeon Nam tried to talk to her after classes, but Chung Nam just walked away. Fast forward a bit, and Tae-ye spotted Chung Nam working at her favorite dessert shop while she was heading home. Tae-ye called up Yeon Nam and asked him to join her there. When they got to the shop, both of them were pretty surprised to see Chung Nam behind the counter. Turns out the dessert shop belonged to Chung Nam's uncle, and she was just helping out. Long story short, Chung Nam and Yeon Nam went out with their campus pals for a drink, and Chung Nam had a bit too much and got herself totally drunk. Yeon Nam, being the good guy he is, stayed with her, and they sat on a park bench by themselves. Yeon Nam then said sorry to Chung Nam for being a bit too forward with that kiss, and surprise surprise, he confessed his feelings for her. Out of the blue, after hearing Yeon Nam's love confession, Chung Nam kissed him back. She dozed off and kinda leaned on Yeon-nam. When she woke up later, she felt super embarrassed about that kiss. But Yeon-nam didn't mind at all, because now they were officially a couple. Now that they were officially dating, Chung-nam and Yeon-nam spent a lot of time together, having fun and all that lovey-dovey stuff. And then the scene changes, and we see Chung-nam's sister, So-hyun. She looks all tired and worn out from her job. Turns out, So-hyun's a book editor, and she's working on a book about desserts, claiming that sweets can help folks distress because they're so dang tasty. Seeing her sis all stressed out, Chung-nam offers to help her. But their relationship isn't that great, so things are kinda awkward between them. Plus, So-hyun's got a bit of an attitude, and she's not all that warm toward Chung-nam. Instead of being grateful for Chung-nam's offer to help, So-hyun responded with sarcasm. It hurt Chung-nam's feelings, and she decided to leave home. Chung-nam had thought they were getting closer as sisters, but it turned out she was the only one who felt that way. So-hyun's attitude toward her didn't change, and she still saw herself as a burden to the family. With Yeon-nam by her side, Chung-nam went to her uncle's place and stayed there for the night. The next day, after So-hyun went off to work, Chung-nam took Yeon-nam to her house. But because they were exhausted and hadn't slept well the night before, they both dozed off in the living room. Imagine their surprise when they woke up and found So-hyun standing there, looking all sour and irritated. She scolded Chung-nam for running away and not coming home all night. But it didn't end there. She also gave Chung-nam a hard time for bringing a guy into the house. Chung-nam and Yeon-nam tried explaining what really happened, but So-hyun wasn't having any of it. She told them to break up instead. Chung-nam and Yeon-nam were totally taken aback by what So-hyun said. They never expected her to tell them to break up, especially since they hadn't done anything wrong. Chung-nam was pretty fed up with her sister, thinking she was always self-centered and never really got her. So Chung-nam quickly grabbed Yeon-nam and got them out of there. After that, they decided to go for a walk and do some fun stuff to cheer Chung-nam up and help her forget about the argument with her sister. So the moral of the story is, don't let dessert cravings drive a wedge between siblings, but do let them sweeten your love life.